A haunting on the plains. In the rugged and unforgiving landscape of the American West, during the harsh days of the 1880s, lived a solitary cowboy named Dirk. With a weathered face etched by countless sunsets and a heart burdened by a dark past, Dirk wandered the plains on a journey to California, seeking something he couldn't quite name. As he rode through the vast expanse, the haunting memories of his past deeds rode alongside him like thieves in the night, pecking away little by little at the man's sanity. 4 ghosts in particular, each a reminder of a life he had taken, and they appeared at the most unexpected moments, their presence chilling his very soul. The first ghost materialized as a shimmering apparition on a moonlit night, while Dirk was sitting by the campfire munching on some beef jerky. The spirit had materialized with hollow eyes and a voice that carried the weight of eternity. The ghost of Sam Crawford emerged from the shadows. His shirt and vest still bloodied from where Dirk had shot him. Sam was a man Dirk had killed in a quick-draw duel over a card game gone wrong. Dirk, Sam's voice echoed through the night, I was just a man trying to feed his family. I never even cheated in that game, and you never gave me a chance to prove my innocence. You just pulled your 6-shooter onto the table and shot me dead. I never even had time to reach for my gun to defend myself. Dirk took a long pull of whiskey from his flask, and retorted, "Ah, boo-hoo. You know everything west of the Mississippi is lawless and godless, and if you were so goddamn concerned for your family you shouldn't have been up past midnight, drinking and playing cards. And don't think I don't remember that prostitute you had sitting on your lap earlier, yay, bouncing her up and down with a hand full of her breast, some real family man you are." Sam just shook his head, and replied, "I still didn't deserve to die, cursed to follow you around and haunt you whenever I get the chance." Dirk took another long pull of whiskey from his flask, then spit at the entity, slurring, "Ah, piss off, you poor bastard. I ain't gots the time to be fooling with you, no ways." Dirk stood up to shoo the apparition away, but in a drunken stupor, had stood up too fast and passed out, falling on his face by the fire. The second ghost, a young Native American warrior named Running Wolf, appeared on a stormy afternoon as Dirk sought shelter beneath a solitary tree. Running Wolf's ghost, draped in ethereal feathers and adorned with war paint, whispered in the wind, "You took my life and the life of my people's future. Our connection to the land is sacred. We are all part of the same earth. You defeated me fair and square on the battlefield, but the elders, women and children in my village were innocent. Remember how you laughed telling your men to save their bullets and just use their rifle stocks to bash their heads in. You murdered mothers in front of their children just so that there was no one to stop you from murdering the children. You're no warrior, you have no honor, just a coward with a gun and a bad attitude." Dirk puffed on his cigar and scoffed, "I ain't proud of all the things I've done in this life. Have I committed war crimes? Sure. But I had good friends of mine scalped, live, then killed. And you think your people stopped with just the soldiers? Hell no, I've heard the tales of your brave warriors scalping white women and children too. Only you didn't have the common decency to kill them afterwards, you just let them live and suffer with the deformity you bestowed upon them." Running Wolf shook his head, "Maybe atrocities were committed by both sides, but at least we had a more sound reason behind the terrors we committed. All we were trying to do was strike fear into the hearts of the white man, to keep him from stealing our land." Dirk flicked the butt of his cigar towards Running Wolf and chuckled, "Wait a minute, Mr. High and Goddamn Mighty. I thought the earth and its land belonged to everyone. So how is it a matter of us stealing it from you? How the fuck you got claims to it, if it's everyone's? Listen to me, Red, we may have stolen that land from you and you're sour about it, and you have every right to be, but don't act like you didn't steal from somebody or some other tribe first." Running Wolf raised his arm and pointed to Dirk, "All I'm saying is one day you'll have to pay for your sins too, white man." As the days passed on by, the third ghost emerged from the mist at a desolate campsite. The figure of a worn and grizzled miner named Jeb Hollister stood before Dirk, his gaze piercing into the depths of his soul. "I was searching for gold, just like you were searching for." Jeb's voice trembled with sorrow. "But greed can lead a man down a path of darkness, where riches become a curse." Dirk frowned at the old miner. "If I remember correctly, I gave you the option to give up all your gold without a fight." The miner wiped the blood away that was oozing out of the hole in his head, and flicked the ghostly blood towards Dirk, That was my gold that I gained off the sweat of my brow, and you just swooped in and took it. After I'd done showed you a place where you could get your own fortune, you just didn't want to work for it, you lazy bastard." Dirk pulled his 6-shooter and fired off a shot at the spirit, not that it did him any good, and shouted, "Quit your bitching, old man, you got your fucking lick in on me." Swung that pickaxe at me and hit me in the knee. To this day, I still have a limp from that shit. The old man cackled as his soul began to disappear, his voice booming in the night. "Yay, the old man sure got you good, you rotten fleck." The final ghost, a lawman named Marshal Garrett, materialized during a scorching desert sunrise. His badge gleamed in the early light as he spoke. "Dirk, I swore an oath to uphold justice, but you turned your gun against the law. The line between right and wrong can be thin, and once crossed, it's difficult to find your way back." Dirk grimaced at the deceased lawman. "Don't act like we didn't grow up roping cattle. You and me's cut from the same cloth, just you got a shiny piece of metal from the government to wear on your chest, and all I got are the scars from all of my encounters. You killed men in cold blood too, motherfucker, you just got a government pension that gives you immunity from your actions." Garrett stared through Dirk's tormented soul and replied, "I may have killed some men in cold blood, and maybe I didn't kill them in the most honorable way, but they were men that needed killing, just like you need killing. I never robbed any bank, never raped a woman that wasn't looking to entertain my company, and for Christ's sake I never murdered an innocent child with the blunt force of my rifle stock. And here you are, guilty of committing all those crimes against your fellow man, and we may have grown up together and been cut from the same cloth, just never forget you shot me in the back, all because you knew I would have been quicker on the draw than you." With each encounter, Dirk felt the weight of his crimes grow heavier upon him. The ghosts, haunting reminders of his past, imparted their lessons with an otherworldly wisdom that cut through his rugged exterior. Their words stirred a turmoil within him, unraveling his sense of purpose and driving him closer to the edge of madness. The souls of men he'd slain tormented him while he walked the plains, and the faces of the women and children he'd murdered haunted him in his dreams. As the final ghost's words echoed in his mind, Dirk's spirit was shattered, and he found himself teetering on the precipice of his own sanity. The relentless torment of his guilt and regret pushed him to the brink, and in a moment of desperation, he pulled out his pistol, held it to his head and squeezed the trigger, firing a shot to blow his own brains out in an attempt to find peace. As the smoke settled, Dirk blinked, shocked that he wasn't dead, and horrified at the laughter of the 4 ghosts that had been haunting him on the plains. "What's the matter, Dirk? Thought you could silence us by ending your life on your own terms?" Dirk screamed with rage and fired another shot at his head, his eyes still blinking as the smoke settled and the laughter of the ghosts getting even louder. Running Wolf shouted to him, "Poor bastard, you're already dead. You died 4 weeks back from a heat stroke. You're just too dumb to realize that this is your new hell, to wander the plains for all eternity being tormented by the men and women you've murdered, reminded every day and every night of the sins you've committed." Garrett stepped forward and patted him on the back. "Don't worry, pal. This isn't the first time you've tried to blow your brains out to silence us neither. You just never remember that you're dead every time you wake up from sleeping on the cold desert ground. Enjoy your fate, you miserable bastard. I'll be back round to visit you again real soon." Dirk sobbed, haunted by the ghosts of his actions, their lessons eternally etched into his very being. And so, the story of Dirk, the haunted cowboy, serves as a cautionary tale of the choices we make and the consequences they bear. It reminds us that every life is interconnected, and the ripples of our actions can forever alter the course of our own fate. In the haunting expanse of the American West, Dirk's restless spirit roams, a testament to the price one pays when darkness consumes the soul.